How's it going, Habibis? Master Duel has just released the new Primite engine, and this is a great engine for normal monsters. It is support for them, and you're going to see it used a lot in Blue Eyes, but it is not just good in Blue Eyes, it is also good in Dark Magician. That's what we're going to be testing out today. I just ended my stream. It was an awesome stream. We did so many different iterations of the deck. We tried out a lot of things. We're going to go over the deck list. I'm going to go over all the key cards, so I'm going to talk a lot about the cards. So if you guys need a breakdown on what these cards do and how they work with Dark Magician, this is the video for you. Be sure to watch till the end. I'm going to go over a couple different deck lists with this, as well as what I think the benefits and downsides of each one is, and how I really feel about this deck compared to other Dark Magician decks that we've had on the channel. Now, if you guys are looking forward to my Blue Eyes Primite deck, that's going to come very soon, maybe even tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And be sure to sub to the channel so you guys know whenever we post a new video. And let's get into some of these replays first, show off what this deck can do. Okay, here we go. So I chose this replay very specifically because I feel like it highlights the control / mid-range style of gameplay that the Primite engine allows, which is what Dark Magician wants to do. So with that being said, I do want to preface this with, I am showing two decks here, and if you guys saw my stream, which if you're not following the stream, be sure to follow if you guys want to see some live duels as well as to chat with me. I'll put the link in the description below, but I was changing this deck constantly over my 6-hour stream that I just had and making changes all the time. So you might see some cards in the replays that are not in the final version of the deck. Don't worry about it. I think I'm giving you the best version of the deck. So some people will be like, oh man, why you play this card in this replay and it's not on the deck list? I did make changes as I go. That's how a deck builder is. You know, you constantly you play and you make adjustments. So I just want to say that. So let's talk about some of these cards, okay? So the Primite engine is just this Ether Barrel, this Lordly Load, and this Drill Beam. Now, that's it. Any one of either Lordly Load or Ether Barrel gets you full Primite combo. Now, the Drill Beam is your big power card, okay? This is an Omni Negate as well as a Banish if you control a normal monster, aka Dark Magician. It also can reset itself if you control a Primite monster. So that has great synergy with Magician Souls, you're gonna see. So we're gonna add the Ether Barrel just because get some card advantage off this Lordly Load. Draw a card, send the Drill Beam, reset itself. Now make sure you don't activate this effect of Souls to send to send Drill Beam to the graveyard if you don't have an Ether Barrel, because you're going to be very disappointed when you cannot reset the Drill Beam from the graveyard, okay? So Drill Beam can only be reset if you control a Primite monster. So you get a free draw, essentially, with the Magician Souls there, which is excellent. Now, we are playing Spirit with Eyes of Blue. We're going to go into Mausoleum. I don't think I kept Mausoleum for long in this deck, but in this scenario, we have it. And then next up, we're going to go into Hieratic Seals of the Heavenly Spheres, okay? So Hieratic Spheres, and then, Hieratic Seals, and then we're going to use Lordly Load's second effect that allows us to summon a DM from the hand, deck, or graveyard. So beautiful there. We have our Omni Negate, we have our Hieratic Seals, we have our Maxi. Now, something else that I will tell you about this deck, we are playing a small branded package. So one of the options that we have off of this Hieratic Seals is to go into Fallen of Albaz. And if you are able to go into Fallen of Albaz, then you're able to take one of your opponent's monsters and either go into Mirror Jade, or if they're playing a light and dark deck, which a lot of people are, you can take one of those monsters, go into Albion / Lubellion, and go into Dragoon. So beautiful synergy there with this. I really like this layered form of interruption. And like I said in the intro, we depend on our non-engine a lot with this deck. So our opponent just used 2 of their cards to stop my Maxi, no big deal. I tried to cross out the Ash, they ended up call buying the Maxi. They're gonna activate Deception, okay? I'm gonna let them pay the cost. I'm gonna activate Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres and send this back to their hand. So just like that, they're down to 2 cards in their hand. This this Deception doesn't do anything. Now I obviously didn't go into Albaz here because there's nothing to fuse with, so I didn't want to waste my Albaz. So I went into Timmy here, and if you're playing Bystials, which is probably a better option in some cases, going into Bystio Magnuma here would be beautiful. Now, my opponent plays another card that that has a cost. Stand-Up Centurion, I'm going to let them pay the cost, and then I'm going to activate Drill Beam. Target the Stand-Up Centurion, it negates the effect, and it banishes the card. My opponent is left with absolutely diddly squat. Okay, Very simple, very calm and easy. And I like it. Layered interruption after interruption. And you really need to be careful with where you use your interruptions. But it's still pretty decent nonetheless. And I think it gives Dark Magician a good boost. Let's go into some more replays so you guys can kind of see some of the utilization of the engine more. Right, so here we're going second, and our opponent is playing none other than Labyrinth, all right? So they're going to go Arius. Arius is going to allow them to set their Welcome Labyrinth, and I'm going to allow the Welcome Labyrinth to play. I could have activated Ash Blossom, but I did not want to use it unless it was on Big Welcome, so no big deal there. We got our Ether Barrel and a Soul Servant, and that's all we need. So Ether Barrel allows us to search for Lordly Load. Now, they play this Archfiend Ghastly glitch, which would destroy my Lordly Load. Don't want that to happen. I'm going to Ash Blossom this Ghastly glitch because it has an effect to send a monster from the deck to the graveyard. So therefore, it's ashable. They're going to chain Arius. I'm going to chain Maxi so I can get a draw because we love to draw cards. We draw Fulos. Not great. But nevertheless, we're able to search for Drill Beam now because Lordly Load did not get popped. I'm going to summon Dark Magician. Now, something to remember, guys. When you use Lordly Load's effect to declare one normal monster and special summon it, DM, you cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters on the field for the rest of the turn. So now I can't activate the effects of any of my special summon monsters. That is something to always remember. Okay, we're gonna activate Soul Servant and stack Mahad to the top of the deck. Now, something that I could have done here is I could have stacked Secrets of Dark Magic in order to get Dragoon out, but I did not want to do that because I want Dark Magician on the field so that I can do this. I could Drill Beam and negate and destroy, negate and banish their Equation Cannon, which that Equation Cannon would have ended me. I would have lost my entire field. So now we have actual utilization for Dark Magician on the field, even more so than like even Dragoon. Like, so it's better to have Dark Magician on the field in some cases if you have the Drill Beam than to even have Dragoon, which is crazy. All right, so we are going first against a Yubel player. Now, something to keep in mind with this deck is you only get one normal summon. My opponent's going to Fulos me here. You can either normal summon Rod or you can normal summon Barrel. And in most instances, Barrel is going to be the better normal summon. There are some times where I'll choose Rod over Barrel, but this is not one of those times. We're going to set the Drill Beam, put back the Rod, okay? And then we're going to summon Magician Souls, send DMG, and we're going to get a free draw here. I could have probably sent DM, because now my opponent gets a draw. But had I sent DM and I used Load's effect to summon DM from the graveyard instead of summoning it from the deck, my opponent wouldn't have gotten a draw for Fulos. So it is what it is. So what do we have in terms of disruption? Well, we got our Drill Beam, we have our Effect Veiler, and we have our Maxi. And we have a Dream, and that's all that matters, okay? So once again, you're gonna see the non-engine is going to carry here. This Maxi is gonna do a lot of work. That's why. Not because we draw a bunch of cards off the Maxi. It forces my opponent to activate Droll. A lot of people are using Droll as a way to stop Maxi, but Droll also stops the opponent. So they're going to summon out Engraver. I don't get to draw anymore. You know, neither of us get to add cards from the deck to the hand. Now, my opponent uses Engraver's effect, or with Requiem as an equip spell, Engraver's effect, to get rid of my DM. I end up Veilering it. I should have probably Drill Beamed here, because my opponent then just attacks over my DM, and it forces me to use the Drill Beam. Now, I am down to 0 disruptions, and they go full Yubel combo. Kind of. Now, remember, they can't add cards from their deck to their hand. So that Nightmare Pain is not going to do as much as you would think. Okay? So sequence, they're going to go Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater is going to dump the Lotus. They're going to activate Nightmare Pain. Doesn't do anything. Engraver is going to put back the Luri. Summon back the Engraver. Go into Wave High King Kesar. And then go into a Poi, a Phantom of Yubel. Okay? So I assume this is an Imperm. Got a Monster Effect negate. So 2 Monster Effect negates, 2 Monster Summon negates. And let's see what we can do. Going second here, essentially, you know. Or, you know, our clapback, not going second, our clapback here. So now we're going to use that normal summon of Magician's Rod, grab Soul Servant, because we have Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard as well as DM. So the Soul Servant's going to turn to a +2. I'm going to go IP Masquerena. I'm trying to force out his uses of either his Kesar or his Phantom of Yubel. So we're going to go into SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight, we're going to target the Wave High King Caesar here. They're going to Imperm it. I'm going to chain SP Little Knight's effect. They're going to chain Phantom of Yubel. to negate my SP Little Knight. So now SP Little Knight will be negated. I don't get the banish of the Wave High King Kesar. No big deal. They get Spirit of Yubel to summon itself. Or I'm sorry, they pop Spirit of Yubel, which then summons Yubel. And now my TTT is live. I'm going to borrow his Caesar. Thank you very much. Next, we're going to go Soul Servant. Soul Servant is going to stack Secrets of Dark Magic. I'm sure you guys know what we're going to be doing with that. We are going to draw into Dark Magical Circle as well. Activate Lordly Load. Summon out DM. Banish the Yubel. And then Secrets of Dark Magic would have been able to go into Dragoon. And we would have been able to swing for game. Of course, my opponent scooped because DM is better than Yubel and everybody knows it. That was a fun duel. We were able to make some plays. We were able to use our non-engine to hold down the fort. And then on the clapback, we were able to go pretty hard at him. Love to see it. Alrighty, so I wasn't sure if I was going to show this duel because, one, it's very long, and two, we're going to fast forward through it as they use Ogre on my barrel, which they probably should have used it on my load. But two, I kind of misplayed twice, and I blame chat because I don't want to take responsibility for my own mistakes. And yeah, so we're gonna go Lordly Load here, and I just forgot to set Drill Beam. Just keep it a buck. I forgot to set Drill Beam. Didn't happen. We're going up against, though, a Blue Eyes Primite. So we got Blue Eyes Primite versus Dark Magician Primate. Yugi versus Kaiba. Let's see who wins. I'm going to Imperm the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. I'm going to Maxi the Roar. They're going to activate Ash Blossom. I'm going to use my Ash on this Wishes for Eyes of Blue. So despite keeping the Drill Beam in hand, which might have won us the duel had we put it immediately, we use our non-engine to stay alive. Take 300 damage, no big deal. They're going to set up Hieratic Seals of the Heavenly Spears. Nice. And we're going to go Eternal Soul Summon DM. All right. So they have Drill Beam. They have Hieratic Seals that we have to deal with. Now, this is where the recursion comes in. During the standby phase, because we have a normal monster, we get to add back the barrel. Okay. We're going to activate Lordly Load. And going into the battle phase, my opponent, of course, is going to target my Eternal Soul. Very dirty, but it is what it is. Eternal Soul triggers, popping everything on the field. They summon Barrel. Barrel doesn't do anything when it's normal summon. It's only, or when it's special summon, it's only when it's normal summon. So now, here's where something interesting happens is they try to negate and banish my Drill Beam. So I'm going to Drill Beam their Drill Beam so that they no longer have Drill Beam. Because most people play Drill Beam at 1. I think that's usually how you should play it. There are some instances played at 2 to 3. But anyways, playing at 1, I'm going to banish their Drill Beam. So now I don't have to worry about the Primite engine causing disruption on their end, or like causing me disruption for the rest of the duel. So Drill Beam also works by revealing a Primite card from your hand. So we were able to reveal Barrel. And then here I made another mistake. Here I go into Typhon thinking that I could spin back the Blue Eyes, but I can't activate the effects of cards or special summon monsters because of Lordly Load. So I suck at Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all I can say. Like, I was so ashamed of this. So my plan was to, get DM in the graveyard, use Eternal Soul, bring it back. Drill Beam will be active. Even though, no, I mean, Drill Beam won't be active, but next turn will be active. So just didn't work out the way I thought. They use SP Little Knight to banish my Eternal Soul. No big deal, because we have Lordly Load. We're good. Okay? So now we get to add the Barrel from the graveyard during our standby phase. We're going to normal summon Barrel. Now that we control a Primite monster, we're going to activate the Drill Beam effect. Now notice I did not use the effect of Ether Barrel to search, okay? I could have searched for a Lordly Load, but why would I do that, okay? I already have 2 of them, and if I do that, my opponent can activate SP Little Knight, and then I won't be able to activate the Drill Beam effect in the graveyard. So definitely, holding out on that effect of Barrel was smart. Now we're going to use Soul Servant to draw into IOC. IOC is going to put back the Barrel and grab Magician Souls. Now, Magician Souls is going to send DMG to the graveyard, and I'm going to send one of my loads to the graveyard, draw a card, we draw into Ash, W, and then now we get to summon out DM and DMG. We have a Drill Beam set, we have an Ash Blossom in hand. Our opponent's in a top deck situation. They drew into a, what did they draw into? I forgot here. This is the Barrel that they added. They grab Lordly Load, they grab Imperial. I don't think they drew into anything of importance. So I'm going to Drill Beam their Lordly Load, okay? So If I had drill beamed one of their monsters, they just would have saved it with SP Little Knight. So I'm trying to get rid of their Lordly Loads here. They summon Blue Eyes White Dragon and they end their turn. Okay, so now here is where we get them going good. All right, we draw into Circle, beautiful. We're gonna use Drill Beam, set it, activate Circle, grab Magician's Rod with IOC. Normal summon the Rod. Rod is going to grab Soul Servant. I'm going to go into IP Masquerena, then IP Masquerena into SP Little Knight using the Barrel. I'm gonna use Barrel's effect. I'm gonna use SP Little Knight's effect to banish one of their Blue Eyes. Then I'm going to, they're gonna chain their SP Little Knight, then I'm gonna chain my SP Little Knight so that it's an SP Little Knight chaining to an SP Little Knight, chaining to an SP Little Knight, because I thought that was cool. It essentially didn't do anything. We're gonna summon DM, and what we don't do here is use Magician's Salvation. Now, they use their Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate to protect the targeting protection. Yeah, I can call that a third misplay, honestly. I forgot that was in the graveyard, but no big deal. We use Soul Servant, we get to draw 2 cards. We're gonna put Bonds between teacher and student. We draw 2 cards, activate it, summon Dark Magician Girl, set Dark Burning Magic, attack over SP Little Knight. So that is why we did not summon the Dark Magician Girl off the Magician's Salvation and end our turn. So what do we have? We got SP Little Knight, we got a Dark Burning Magic, which is a field wipe. We have it Called by the Grave, we have a Drill Beam, we have an Ash Blossom. Finally, after 8 turns, we're finally in the driver's seat, and my opponent scoops it up because Dark Magician best deck. Yugi over Kaiba. Let's go into these deck lists and let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, hit the follow button, hit the like button, and follow the Twitch stream. But hit the like button on this one. Now let's go into the deck list. The Goo, Habibis, the Goo. So this is the most fun and competitive version of the deck. This is a good mix of both, okay? I'm gonna show you 2 of my 3 variations of this deck. I'll show you the third one in a later video. It's probably not gonna be you guys' favorite. Some of you guys are gonna love it because it's the best version of it. It's the 60 card version, but it's, you know, I don't know, people have an aversion to 60 cards for some reason. I understand, but you know, it's the better version. I don't know what to tell you, I'm sorry. This is such a fun version though, because we are utilizing a lot of DM cards. You guys saw the Dark Burning Magic and the Bonds between teacher and student. I say, what the heck, you got a lot of abilities to go into DM with this deck. Let's utilize all the DM cards we could. And we have a lot of non-engine as well, so this is a beautifully put together list, if I do say so myself. It has a lot of good, you know, Dark Magician themes with it, and it's kind of bumped up by the Primite engine, which you love to see. We're playing the Access Code package, which doesn't come up very often, but, you know, it's a good OTK option. And then I'm playing Guardian Chimera in case I have Secrets of Dark Magic and like Dark Magician Girl, or even Dark Magician sometimes. But basically, Secrets of Dark Magic is what you're going to search for off of Rod. Either that or Bonds between teacher and student. You have to make your decision based off of the scenarios that the game has, you know, put before you. So if you want to go into Dragoon, you obviously go Secrets. If you want to get the board wipe set up, you go Bonds between teacher and student. So a lot of good. Not every combo is the same, which I personally like. It allows me to really think things through, right? But I really like this deck. Let's go into the other one that I made. So this is the second one I made. This one is, I think, the one I was playing in the first 2 duels, if I remember correctly. So this one is very interesting, and this is the one I kind of want to, you know, I'll talk about some stuff and we'll wrap up. I talked about this with Matchy in the Discord server. You can see on the thread there, we were discussing it maybe about 2 weeks ago, talking about just what Primite DM really does. And one of the things we both came up with was this small branded package. Now, we in Master Duel are able to play Verte. Now, in the previous list, it had a very glaring omission of a Predaplan Verte Anaconda, which is the best Dark Magician card. However, something that you guys need to know, this is very important. Make sure you're listening right now. Verte and Lordly Load do not work well together, okay? Lordly Load does not allow you to activate the effects of special summon monsters on the field after you activate its effect. Verte does not allow you to special summon monsters after you activate its effect. Do you guys see the problem? If you activate Verte, you can't activate Load. If you activate Load, you can't activate Verte. So it's one or the other. So basically what we're doing with this deck is we are trying to extend the game to turn 3, turn 5, and have layers of different things that we could throw at the opponent, okay? One turn we hit them with our load, another turn we hit them with our snake. You know, that is how we do it with DM. We are able to consistently keep building up different forms of disruption with this deck, which I like. Now, something else that I like, and I think I talked about this in the first duel, is you're able to go into Albaz. That's another thing. So not only are we able to Verte and send Branded Fusion, and you guys know the Albion the Sanctifier Dragon play. If you guys don't know it, I have a video linked above where I showcase what it does. It's able to go into Dragoon off of Verte, but also we are able to go into Hieratic Seals into Albaz, which I already mentioned, can steal your opponent's monster, and that could be another way to go into Dragoon or to go into Mirror Jade. So the possibilities are endless with this deck. I think this deck has a lot of potential. I'm playing Albaz here because... I'm playing Mahad here because it's a light monster or a light spellcaster, and that's what you need for Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. So Veiler also works if you want to cut like Ogres or Drolls and play Veiler instead. That's an option for you. But this is a very clean 40 card list. I really like it. I think that it can have some improvements. I'm trying to work on them. I'm currently running Timaeus because Timaeus could be a 1.5 card combo with IOC, which I showcased in my previous DM video. I'll link that above if you guys want to see it. But this is kind of where we're at right now. Like I said, I'll show you guys the third deck later in a future video, but I really want to work on these two and make them as optimal as possible because it's a lot of fun, and I think the sky is the limit with Primite DM. Hopefully, you guys come up with some great ideas. Let me know in the comments what you guys have cooked up. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Until next time, Habibis, peace and love. Take care. So go out and make somebody's day special. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already, and sub to the channel. I appreciate you all so much. So close to 5K. You love to see it. You guys are the best. Peace out, Habibis.